Hello everyone, Boobman87 here, and welcome to my review of the 2022 Predator film, Prey. This is directed by Dan Trachtenberg, I believe his name is, who then has proceeded to do the rest of the films in the franchise, two more, including two movies that came out this year, actually, Predator Killer... Sorry about that. He did the Predator Killer of Killers, and he did Predator Badlands, both of which came out this year. He also did Prey back in 2022, which is what we're talking about today. This is about a Native American tribe, and this girl, Naru, wants to prove she can be a hunter, prove herself to her tribe, the classic story. And then a predator comes and fucks shit up. So... that is the premise we have here, and it's a fairly simple one. But, it doesn't really hurt the movie that simple, because the first two Predator films are very bare-bones plot, like, generic plot, right? You got, first one, group of people that are tasked with going into the jungle to fight terrorists, and then a Predator comes. You got a cop trying to figure out who's killing gang members in a city, and then a Predator comes. You got a Native American girl who wants to prove herself to her tribe that she can hunt and do, the big important things. And then a Predator shows up. Like, this is a try and true formula for the Predator films, where you take a super generic idea and then you literally just take a Predator and drop him in. And it's worked. Those have been some of my favorites in the franchise, of course. But yeah, let's just get right into this movie. Starting off with the positives, I liked this movie a lot, actually. I really enjoyed this film. This was such a breath of fresh air after, we had the first movie, and then we just had a line of movies that I, mixed to negative on. The highest one's about like a 2.75. So it is nice to have this big jump up back to classic Predator stuff. And I think that is another positive. It feels very classic Predator. It feels very like bare bones. We're in the jungle. We don't have a lot of equipment. I mean, they have a lot in the first one, but you know what I mean? Not like the stuff. And shit's about to happen. And I really enjoy how grounded it feels. It feels very grounded, It feels very like, this is your story. This is what we're focusing on. And I definitely enjoy that, especially after the Predator that had about 16 quadrillion subplots. So having this very much more quote-unquote bare bones film was very refreshing to me. I enjoy the premise. It's going back in history to these famous warrior groups like Native Americans and stuff like that. I think is a very good idea. Shame it didn't really work out in Killer of Killers for me, but I thought Prey was a perfect blend of... it's not really a prequel, it's just going back and showing you other stuff that has happened, because the Predators in 1987, that wasn't the first Predator. There have been Predators literally forever, so I thought this was a good way to do that. And it doesn't connect to any other movies, which I loved. I loved that it didn't try to make something else more important than it actually was. You've got some of my absolute favorite kills in the entire franchise in this movie, and a lot more of a comedic charm than I thought you would have, actually, with some of the kills. I really loved how the Predator, the hand-to-hand combat that the Predator did in this movie. I really liked how it is, and that moves on to the next thing, how the Predator scaled down his equipment to match, more so to the Native American equipment set. I mean, it's still pretty fucking unfair, but he goes down to make it more of a fair fight. And I think that is, I think it's cool, because the Predator's cool. I'll just say right now, Predator's fucking cool. The Predator is cool. He's cool. The Predator! I thought all the acting was really good, actually. I thought the acting was pretty superb, I suppose you could say. There wasn't really any character there was no character that I thought hurt the movie with their acting. I mean, some of the bully dudes were a little grating, but I guess that was the point and stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the acting. I thought it added, it didn't take away from the overall action experience. Something I'm going to talk about now and later is the fact that, just like the first movie, there's almost no Predator stuff for the first half of the film. I think it just barely works here, but I think it does. I think it does work. I think it does work here, where it is a much more slow burn film than any other movie that we have seen since probably the second one. It's much more story driven than Predators and the Predator, and even a bit of Predator 2. It's much more. This is a horror film. This is a actiony horror film rather than barely even an action thriller with Predators and the Predator. This is a horror film with action, and that is the form I've been waiting for this franchise. It's what I've been hoping for. I think that there's a dog. I like the dog. The dog is nice. The dog is good dog. Good dog. That's it for that. Just good dog. I thought the ending of the film, I thought the way it wrapped up was a little predictable, but I think it worked pretty well for what the movie wanted to do. I think it was able to, it was a satisfying conclusion that you see coming, but even when you see it coming, it's still nice. It's still it's a feel good, predictable ending. That is still a feel-good ending. There's something happy about it, I mean, it's a little sad because, everyone's fucking gone, but, well, not every, I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, it's a decent ending, it's a decent ending that accomplishes what it wants to do, and that's wrap it up in a satisfying way, and it does that. It does that well. Directing in the movie, I think, is quite flawless. We've had a bit of problems with directing for the past two films where they have just been very, actiony, zip the camera around and everything's super dark and stuff. I like that it's much brighter. I like that it focuses on things. I like that the camera doesn't cut away a whole lot. I like how many one-take shots there are. Not actually one takes, but you know what I mean, where it's the camera keeps on moving and doesn't cut to something else. I like how old school actiony it feels. I like how, because honestly, it does the opposite. The constant cutting wants it to make you feel frantic. But I think this movie makes you feel much more frantic than the Predators and the Predator. I keep referring to those movies because those are the last two that I think, I think this film rectifies a lot of the problems that those films have. So, yeah, I enjoy that quite a bit, actually, yeah. Moving on to the mixed, I think the French colonizer sub-antagonists, they're not the primary antagonists, obviously the Predator, but I think the French colonizer sub-antagonists were fine. I didn't think their inclusion was extremely necessary. It just kind of felt like either, we have to. It feels like, if we're making a Native American storyline, we have to include the conquistadors and, the colonizers in some way. I don't think you do. Having it just be a Native American storyline is much more intriguing to me than, doing another basic thing. But I guess it is like supposed to be, your basic story, and then drop a Predator in. So it does work for that. There's like almost all of them are just supposed to be cannon fodder to give you some great kills. You could have just done that with, I think, more Native American tribesmen to make it really, feel like this is about the Native American tribe fighting the Predator. But all in all, I think they were fine. I don't think there was a huge issue with them. They did bring like the one poor piece of acting. Naru's line delivery against the lead of the French colonizers right before she leaves him as bait, I think don't really hit very hard. They're not just delivered. They're not delivered extremely well. Even though I did really enjoy Naru's character, that specific line delivery from her was not for me. Not extremely effective, I feel. Moving on to the negatives, and I don't have many of them, as you could probably tell. It is just... What the fuck? Is just a little bit too slow burn for me, okay? It's just a little bit too slow. I wanted a bit more Predator than I got. It's fine. It doesn't extremely hurt the movie. I just wanted it to be a bit... I was going to think it'd be like a bloodbath, and it is a bloodbath, but only near the end. So maybe if I rewatch it knowing that it's more of a slow burn film, I'll like it a lot more. But yeah, it was just a little too slow burny for what it was trying to do, I feel. Finally, and honestly, probably the biggest negative here. Probably controversial. Very controversial, I'm sure. I did not like the Predator redesign. The design the Predator has, where he's much more of like a monster, and he's got like the bone mask and the bone armor and shit. I didn't, in the claws. I didn't like it. I think the Predator's supposed to be technological and stuff. And I get it. There's no technology. But I think I just didn't enjoy his design a whole lot. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. It was not. I just didn't enjoy the design. I didn't enjoy the design. What are you gonna do? Fight me? I'll fight you. All in all, though, what a fucking movie! What a film! What an absolute! It definitely was more of what I like from Predator movies, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It's a back to form that I think this franchise was desperately missing, and it's what I needed for this franchise. I'm going to give Prey a 4 out of 5 stars. Very, very highly recommend it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm even underrating it at 4 stars? Do you think it's the best in this franchise, perhaps? Am I overrating it? Were there some things you didn't like about it? I mean, there's things people don't like about... There's things about every movie that people don't like, but, what did you think? Let me know. Let me know anything else you want me to do. Let me know other franchise, maybe, even though I kind of have the franchise ideas I want to do set for a while. But let me know. Just let me know what you want, and I'll see what I can do. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe down below, do all the bullshit. And, yeah, we're continuing along with the reviews. Boomy87, out!